Hello, how's it going, boys? What is up? Source back once again for yet another Suptix video. I'm not sure how long is this gonna be. I hope it's not that. I hope this is not gonna be too long, but I'll try to fit in as much as I can. So, as you all know, that the last Suptix we had was more or less anniversary. So there are probably like a few characters or some shit that was already out at that time, and I probably never mention it just because it is an anniversary Suptix, so you had like all the limited characters, seasonal shit all included in there. I never once mentioned about any of the normal Supticable characters, like the ones you see on screen right now, just because that it's not even worth grabbing it unless, I don't know, you don't give a shit, I suppose. But yeah, so with that said, this Suptix is going all the way until the 21st. You can purchase it at the end of 21st May at before 9 p.m. Japan time. And I think if you buy it at the end there, you technically have like another 24 hours to pick the character or whatever for the Suptix. So I'm not entirely sure how is it going to be, but we are very likely to see Flash before during this Suptix period. So I am going to mention like notable Earth characters and whatnot, obviously, like, you know, because Guild War, for those who are wondering, it is Earth favorite, which is only happening next month, in the middle of June. So we don't know entirely whether or not like there are like super meta characters that are coming out or whatever during this Flash, during the upcoming Flash and Lake Fest, for example, right? Because we are going to encounter at least, very likely at least 2 Flashes and then 1 Lake Fest before Guild War. So we don't know that's going to be like changing the whole thing about like how the burst setup is going to be. How is the so-called Nightmare 150 shit, whatever, all that stuff. We don't know, right? So I'm just going to like go in based on whatever we have currently. They might change entirely later on, we don't know. So I'm just gonna say all the stuff that we have right now that is actually notable, yes, along with the obviously the characters that I never mentioned yet previously. Same goes for the ones that got introduced in this one, because as you can see, the wonderful banner, the characters that the highlighted characters that got added into this specific Suptix. Yeah, biggest booba on the screen. Yep. So those are the few things that I'll be mentioning in the this said video, obviously. But yeah, so keep in mind that things may have changed by the time Guild War comes out, obviously. So for those watching this in the future, then I don't think I can help you. This is only for what's happening like during maybe these few weeks. It might change later on, but yeah, just keep that in mind. Okay, all right, let's start. Okay, so the characters that I very likely miss is Cat. Right. So to put these things short, Cat is a big no. I don't think you want to do that ever. Cat may be fluffy as hell. Where the hell is Cat? Yeah, there it is. So Cat looks very fluffy. It looks very nice and cute and cuddly. Yes, but no, I don't think you want that because the character is kind of whatever. The character is whatever. Even if you want to use it, you probably just put it in the back line anyway. So there's no reason for you to do that and waste your money for that, unless you, yeah, like I said, end of the day, right? I've always been mentioning, end of the day, it's your money. You can spend it however you want. You can pick whatever character you want. I'm not here to judge. It doesn't really matter. If this video is just basically to help you to choose, or more like suggesting a character that is worth picking, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, all right. Moving forward. Other than Cat, we have Yugo. Yugo, where's Yugo? She's a Crest character. So she gives her Crest functionality is charge bar gain. So she also provides lots of healing, because she does Ogi healing, because she automatically activate her third skill, which is a green border. So this will not get activated at all for full auto functions. So if you have Typhoon Crest at 5, if you max out at 5, this will auto-activate again. So meaning, whenever you Ogi, when you have 5 crests, this will activate twice. So meaning, you can get 2,000 heals because you get 1,000 heal per cast. And you also get 2-turn cut to debuff durations. So technically, you can get -4. So, yeah. But it's not really a clear, unfortunately. But yeah, it only works for specific debuffs, unfortunately. But yeah, then what does this do again? This undispellable. So you have dispel cancelled, you have lesser damage taken, and you also can get drain. And the drain goes up to 1,000. Yes, it goes up to 1,000 HP drain. Which is kind of okay, but like, yeah. So she's a very, very support heavy type of character that's very, very focused on crest. Which sounds amazing, but I don't think you really need a character like this just yet. Maybe in future you may need a character like that, but I don't think she's worth that character right now. So the next one we have Booba. Yep, next one we have Booba character. So we have Booba or Kupitan. Put it simply, she works very much like Saurus. So for those who don't really know who Saurus, Saurus is basically the manlier version of her. The very, very manly version of her. That he's there to protect the grills. He's there to protect the waifus. Yeah, so he's very similar to her, but the way she works is slightly different. Because the way Saurus works is that, yeah, just lots of hits, lots of nukes, right? Kupitan works exactly the same, but the difference is like their functionality is very, very different. So for like Saurus S2, he has a debuff defend down stackable, and then his S1 has multi-attack up for himself, and yeah, that's more or less it. Wait, no, I forgot. His S2, if I recall correctly, has a substitute as well, but his substitute only applies to female characters. So if there's a male character in there, it doesn't work for that. He only subs for female characters, if I recall correctly. So yeah, the besides that, so that's like the main thing. So their third skill works mostly exactly the same. The only difference I would say in Saurus and her is probably the level 80 versus level 100, and obviously the way these things work, right? Because her S1 works very, very differently. Like you get Kupitan gets, like, the way she works is like her different mechanic is like she gains these special arrows like every time you get you do a buff. Whenever you do a buff or a charge attack, she gains like 2 different arrows or whatnot. So the different types of arrows that she gets, whenever you press her S1, for example, she'll get a different perk. So like you get a nuke, but you get an extra thing. So like this one of these shit is one of those examples. So you get like a nuke, or you get this thing, along with like glaciate, or you get accuracy down, or you get fear, so on and so forth. So it's like you will only get that whenever you have that said arrow. If you do not have that arrows, none of this will appear. Because there are some other shit like, you know, you get dispel, you get 2-turn cut to all allies debuff durations, you can heal. Yeah. You have those stuff as like an extra shit, because all of her arrows are kind of like related to the colors of the rainbow. So she has that, and then her second skill is also a little bit different, but she has like a very, very special delay. What this special delay means is kind of like, to put it simply, is like if the target has like some sort of delay immunity or something, or some sort of thing where is resistant to delay or some sort, but because she has a delay that is supposedly special, you know, because some characters has that. The other obvious example I would say is Octo. Octo has a delay special as well. So these characters can bypass that. So if there's some sort of like resistance or whatever, they can actually just bypass that. So which is really, really good. So in other words, she can always land the said delay, you know, as long as it's not 0 diamonds, that is. So if there's more than 1 diamonds, her second skill should technically work, unless you actually just whiff it altogether, right? Because there's still like obviously an accuracy there. She doesn't really land it all the time, but I'm very, very certain her accuracy for the delay is not super low, so it should be okay for the most part. And if you do actually land that thing, you get like extra, what, 20 meter? Yeah. So it's like very similar to like those other said characters. Same goes for like Octo as well. It works exactly the same as Octo. And then, yeah, her third skill is the same as Soris, where the moment you press this, right, you can press this 2 twice. Yeah, so you can press, in the first turn, you can press this like 3 times, yeah. So it's quite nice. You can do it like, say, pair it with like Kirin, and then just press all the buttons. Yes, so you're pressing a lot of fucking buttons, but does a lot of damage and shit. Yep. And the other thing that she's kind of nice to have is obviously she does have supplemental crit. For her, what's that? No, not crit. Sorry, skill damage. My bad. So she does have like 50,000 extra supplemental skill damage. In other words, like, yeah, it works very, very well for these because she does do 7 hits. If you, well, because it's in Japanese, probably you guys can read. But yeah, it is 7 hits. So supplemental works really, really well for characters such as these. She is kind of nice, but I think for the most part, like what Water tends to have right now, I don't think you really need her. But she is still kind of nice. Like maybe for like upcoming Water favorite proving grounds kind of shit, she might actually be really, really helpful for that, because you can just keep mashing and mashing and mashing with Kirin and stuff, which you could also technically do it right now as well for Tower of Babel, because Tower of Babel technically is gone already, unfortunately. Because Tower of Babel, before this we had what's that, the Water favorite boss, where it can be pretty rough if you do not have like, if you do not use like Paladin or something for the last boss. I think I did uploaded that Tower of Babel video or something when I did it. So the final boss part, you can kind of like cheese it in a way by just spamming like nukes after nukes and nukes just to kill it super fast and shit, and technically bypass all the annoying crap that the fucker does, right? Because, you know, he does like a lot of damage if you're not prepared for it and you want to get that set thingy or whatever. Yeah, Kupitan can technically kind of work for that, but you don't really need to run her for that because there are many other options for you to run. But then again, yeah, Tower of Babel is not there anymore, unfortunately, so oh well. Yeah, so that's how she is. She is nice, but I think you can kind of ignore her for now, unless you just really want the booba. Then, well, I can't blame you, because boobas are good. So the next one is Lililei, I think. So Lililei is kind of like it's kind of like, how do I say, similar as like how Eidos is like very hype focused. She's very, very hype focused. She does provide a lot of hype as well. But she at the same time, she provides like support utility things. So like she can heal, she can do wind defense up to 20%, and then she also provides like shield. She does dispel cancel here and there, and then the other thing she also provides is she gets a lot of charge bar gain up. So it just allows you to get more and more what's that, constant succession of having this up all the time, and yeah, some fucking hype and shit. But yeah, she's pretty dog shit, so no. I wouldn't suggest her at all, so no. Moving on, since we are already in fire, we have Silv. I think if you really want to go in depth, you can just go back to my Silv video, because I did actually got her. I did manage to luck shit her on release, so I did kind of test her during that time. But she is really, really good because of her permanent buffs that gives a lot of defense, and she does actually provide some very, very nice utility. And yeah, but this thing is just really, really strong altogether, and it works really, really well for a lot of the characters. And also because she's primal, if you have like Summer Medusa, for example, you can actually use her along with her. And then she gains an extra perk because, you know, for those who are wondering, Summer Medusa does get extra perks whenever you slot in more primal type characters in your party, be it in the back line or the front line. So yeah, she is actually a very supportive, very support focused character. I wouldn't really say she is like super strong in any way, like provides like crazy amount of damage kind of shit. No, she's not like that. She's more like a very support character just because the amount of like the defense you get from this, for anyone's wondering, you get up to like 100% defense up. And also she also has delay on her Ogi, so that's also very nice. And she also gets she also provides extra 1500 heals whenever any of your allies has this thing up on them, because this is undispellable and he has an indefinite duration, so it's actually very good. The only problem is that you need to manually cast on each individual characters, so it can be very annoying when it comes to full auto. But when it comes to like manual, to like end game raids, for example, she can be very strong just because of the amount of stuff you get out of this, and the delay you get out of this, and the heal you get out of her is actually very helpful. Yes, so if you need a character like that, by all means, she's actually still, I would say actually she's a very helpful character when it comes to like end game stuff or anything that has to do with you needing more sustain, because she's that type of character. Okay, next is I think the last new character that I have to cover is Ipatsu. So if I recall correctly, Ipatsu is very nuke oriented for some reason. For all I know, he's very nuke oriented because his Ogi is he has like this thing where I don't know what the fuck is it called, craving. Yeah, it's a craving stack. Essentially, like when he reaches to the maximum stack of this craving thing, right, he will not be able to attack or cast skills, and he gets like weakened. So in other words, he's just a hungry ass motherfucker, and he just wants more fucking ramen, right? that's his major downside. Other than that, his Ogi is basically allowing you to reduce his so-called craving. So every time you Ogi, you not only reduce that stupid stack, he also reduces his cooldowns and allows you to spam these a lot more often, just because that this is actually goes down, this too goes down up to 3 turns. Because now it's 4 turns, right? But when you level him up, he gets up down to 3 turns each. This is still 4 turns. So he gets extra CA specs and also 30% meter. And then at the same time, you can get delay from this, and then you just dispel from this. So you can spam the nukes a lot. But I mean, it's Dark, right? Do we actually need a character like this for Dark when you have, you know, Fidel, Leech? So probably not. It sounds cool, but you don't need them. You don't need him. It's like, it's just better off you just getting for another element or something, or just get another character that is worth grabbing in Dark, because there's still quite a few relatively nice supplicable characters to grab in Dark anyway. They'll probably still help you a whole lot more. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So that's mostly about like the new character portion. So I'm just gonna go into Earth right now, because I'm just gonna briefly mention like notable ones to help you in in Guild War in some way. So maybe like when it comes to focus to OTK stuff like EX plus, Siegfried can kind of do it. Siegfried can kind of do it in a way. Who else? Medusa can kind of do it. I think Fiorito also kind of being used to a certain degree as well, because I think they kind of use her for like the auto attack setup or something. Yeah. Then you have this guy. Obviously, yeah, you have this guy, and then you have who else? Yeah, you can kind of use her as well for the auto setups. Because, you know, OTK technically nowadays, there's like auto-based setups. The ones where you just go auto-attack or use Babu auto-attack or whatever. And then there's the Ogi version of them, right? Usually people tends to go to the Ogi version because it's a lot easier to build into. Because a lot of times our, you know, our latency can't really make use of the speed if you're using the auto setup, right? Because a lot of times people go for the auto setup because their ping is too goddamn fast, right? So... if you're suffering in bad ping, then well, technically you just go with the what's that? The Ogi version, right? So those are the few briefly, I would say the Ogi ones. I may probably have missed one or two, but oh fuck it, I'm just gonna somewhat skip. Because I'm probably gonna explain more on the burst setup ones. Okay, so for burst setups, there are quite a few now, or even not really burst setups, or even like full auto stuff. There are quite a few that is probably worth mentioning now. So Big Tricks is actually really good for, still really good for burst setups technically. But the only downside I would say that she doesn't have Assassin. She only has double strike, but she still does relatively well because, you know, yeah, just getting like free double strike is just really helpful in some way. I would say like there's also like the new Skull Balugar guy was a notable one, but he's not in, those dudes are still relatively new, so they're not really in this Suptix, so I can really say. The other one I would definitely say is Setter. Setter is probably, I don't know, there's a very high chance that she might be used for 950, just because that she allows you to Ogi a lot, because, you know, she provides a lot of meter, she provides a lot of sustain because of this, and then you also get like a auto heal whenever she Ogis and shit, right? If I recall correctly, because whenever she Ogis, right, when she gets the she gets that, what the fuck does the thing called? Twinkle Star? Yeah, she gets that Twinkle Star thingy. Whenever the boss does a special attack, she'll auto cast her shit, and then it will automatically, because you have that Twinkle Star thing, she will be able to heal everyone. And then it also -1 turn cut to her skills, so which is really helpful. She's also, I think she's being used a lot in Super Baha now, like, because of the whole Kango Octo setup right now. She's being used so much because of that. And also, you know, this helps out a lot, because this just reduces the debuff durations by 2 turns, you know, that function, which is very helpful in the likes of Super Baha as well. So yeah, she is actually very helpful in that. So if you think about it, can also be working very well in the likes of the Nightmare 150, especially if you planning to go with like lots of Ogi like Kango and all that shit, right? So Setter probably will help you a lot in that set situation. So other than Setter, probably I'm going to mention Lena as well, because Lena is sitting in a very similar position, I would say, to Setter as well. Just what the fuck is she? The reason why she shares a very similar similar situation as Setter is the fact that she benefits, she gets a lot of benefits when you're Ogiing a lot as well. Just because that she has on Ogi, right? She provides a very special debuff that allows her to activate her S1 twice, and her S1 does do a 6 hit Earth 6 hits nuke. So in other words, if you can activate twice, so that's technically a 12 hit. So her nukes is pretty good. And besides that, on her Ogi, she actually has also a -2 turn cut to her cooldowns, which is also very helpful, just because that this is, as you can see, this is like down to 5 turns when you level her. This is down to 4 turns. But then again, this is not really full auto, right? But you can actually auto cast this because it is in her second passive. So there is a chance to activate her second skill at the end of turn. She has a base 25% chance to activate this at the end of turn. And the more debuffs you have, the higher the chance that her second skill will get procced. Which is also gonna work really, really well in the likes of Nightmare 150 or even the likes of Super Baja anyway. Just because that you get you more or less you're gonna get relatively free clears and such. It's very, very helpful. And yeah, she also provides what's that extra drain from her first passive whenever she has that stupid whatever her thing is called on her Ogi thingy. Yeah. So when you have that Ogi debuff up, right, you will also provide drain and supplemental effect to your Earth allies, which is kind of nice, right? So you have more sustain. Yeah. And yeah, it's like she's actually really, really good for that setup for like similar as like Satyr, but you can kind of see that in terms of more usability these days, you probably want to use Satyr more, just because Satyr actually technically provide a whole lot more compared to her. Because I just find Lena to be in a position where if you want to really focus more on the clears, right? You just want to get constant clears, right? Every time at the end of turn, Lena is probably that character for you, because she has an automated chance, 25% chance to get that clear down every end of turn, and it increases the chance every time there's a debuff. And if I'm not entirely sure, I'm not entirely sure, but I think is that, wait, what is this? Yeah, it does actually mention here in the wiki. So every debuff you have, it increases the chance by 15%. So if you have one debuff, it goes to like 40%. So there's a 40% chance for you to get a free clear when you just have one debuff. And we're talking about Guild War, right? Guild War tends to have a lot of freaking debuffs, isn't it? So it seems very likely she will guarantee that clear no matter what. That's why she's actually still a really, really nice character to have. And just because that she can spam her shit so much more. Her third skill actually is kind of nice, I suppose. Her third skill technically is actually okay as well, but she actually absorbs your, I think, 10%, right? 10%. Yeah, she absorbs 10% on each individual of your party members to herself, so she can Ogi again. So it's technically is very similar to like Amira in a way. Yeah. It's very similar to like the original Amira, because she has that as well, and she provides this extra buff to your allies as well. And what exactly they do is that you get extra 50% damage, reduced damage taken, and you also get extra 1000 healing cap, which is gonna be very, very beneficial for this, because the heal allows you to heal 2000. Because the base heal for this is only 1000, and then if you have this, you can heal up to 2000. And then she also technically, well, if you did somehow manage to roll healing cap on her, yeah, that's kind of much better too in a way, right? In a ring. I don't know, she doesn't have, unfortunately, she doesn't have heal cap in her EMP, but yeah. So you get what I mean, right? So yeah, she's gonna be still really, really nice in that position when it comes to that said thing. Other notable one, once again, Fiorito. Probably you can actually use her again for like Nightmare 95 stuff. I think a lot of people were using her for Nightmare 95 stuff back in the day. Okay, so I did kind of made a mistake there, because I thought it was Nemone, but it's actually her sister, which is called Maleo. Yeah, Maleo. She's actually okay. I did remember her being relatively decent, but I don't think a lot of people really go for her though, because I think a lot of times she only works mostly for herself. Unfortunately, she's a very, very selfish character. But from what I recall, she can tank really, really well, because she does this very, very often, and she has a lot of attack keen kind of stuff for herself. She also has Veil to herself. She also has her following break does give her extra drain. She also gets extra echo, and yeah, she just provides extra echo to what's that? Earth Spear. X and Spear specialty on triple attack as well. She is kind of okay, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to say that she's worth the Suptix though. But she's still I would definitely say she's someone that is worth mentioning, you know? Because it's one of those really, really old characters that got revamped with a full limit break and stuff to the point that it's at least usable to a certain degree. You know, it's not like fucking Chat Noir tier, okay? At least, right? Benjamin is also actually really good though. I remember Benjamin being useful, but like I think he's the type of character that is very focused on was that having harp, right? He needs to have harp characters or some shit, isn't it? Yeah, he needs to have harp characters in your party to do a lot better. So because he gets like either the first one he gets attack, and then he gets charge bar gain, he gets CA specs. So in a way you only need like technically three harp characters. But yeah, other than that, he's also very, very focused on like similar like Iodos, right? It's just lots of hype. Yeah, just lots of hype. He just gets extra perks whenever he has hype and shit. Yeah, he gets that. So it's actually okay, but he's one of those characters I would definitely say that he's reliant on, you know, like how Setter and Lena is, right? He's very reliant on Oging a lot. So if you can Ogi a lot, he's actually not bad as well. Who else is, I would say, is worth mentioning? I mean, yeah, maybe Herja might change or some shit. I don't know. Ilsa might change because we are getting a rebalance, but yeah, we're not really getting it yet. So I'm not really gonna wait for it, unfortunately. So yeah, because I know we are getting like Ilsa, we're getting Herja, and I think we are getting a limited character that or something that is getting a rebalance. I don't remember who. Other than that, yeah, the very typical standard ones, obviously Soris, like I mentioned already earlier, like in comparison to Kupitan. Yeah, so Soris, same thing. It's definitely still pretty noteworthy until today. Dante is for OTK stuff, but yeah, I think probably by now we may have much better OTK characters already. I think La Diva is still decent, but I think a lot of times now we have more characters that is kind of outperforming La Diva these days, so I wouldn't really say so. Pangy is still actually okay for OTK, and to a certain point maybe Burst as well, because she can kind of like mash buttons, you know, because she has like this 10 stacks thingy and this allows you to like attack all the way kind of thing. Yeah, same goes for this. This is kind of like the burst setup thing. This is another support, which is relatively okay. I think Yugo is kind of similar as well, but I don't think you really need them. Because if you really want support, I would definitely say either Setter or Lena. Lena is probably a much better pick anyway, so you can technically ignore. This guy can go suck a dick. This one's actually okay, but I don't think I really would mention her. So those probably, I would say, the few notable ones when it comes to like if you need some help for gearing up for Guild War, for example. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I don't think I'm really gonna mention much about summons, because end of the day, summons you just pick the ones that you really need. If you really need Titan, by all means, right? Or you want Galleon or some shit, or Gorilla, Mammoth or whatever, then yeah, by all means, right? Just get based on what you need, because this Suptix is just end of the day, it's just based on what you need. I'm just here to suggest for like upcoming events that's happening and shit. You know, you don't really need to follow what I say. So I think this is probably going on a little bit too long already for this video. I think I already explained way too much. But yeah, end of the day, if you actually still need help or to decide or whatever, you can always just come over to my Discord and ask there, because there are some nice people over there. Or you can always just come on stream and ask me directly in the chat and join in the fun, because you know we're all just going to die on dies of cringe, because that's how it is, right? But yeah, if you really need help, you can always just come in on stream. Ask there, it's fine. We'll try our best to help. You can always, yeah, like I said, go on Discord, or if not, just, I don't know, if you want to just comment or something, then some other commenters might help. But I wouldn't really suggest that though, because YouTube comments can be a little bit cringe. But yeah, end of the day, I really do suggest you just come on my stream and just ask that directly, because I can probably help you out a whole lot more. Or if not, chat is gonna be there to help you as well. So yeah, we are all very nice people. We don't bite. Yeah. All right. If you need help in if you also need help in like specific raids or whatever, I'm sure chat will help you as well. So it's much better to come on stream rather than, you know, that kind of stuff. So yeah, appreciate all the likes for those people who have been liking on my videos or subscribed, all that good stuff, or coming onto the stream and showing your support. I appreciate it. So I hope you guys find this helpful, like this video, especially this video, helpful in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. I'm not sure when is the next time gonna be. Probably the FF11 characters, I guess. Yeah, the FF11 characters. The impression thingy. Yeah, because for those who are wondering, I am waiting for part 2 first before I actually check them out, because I do want to test the character like physically, right? Like in a real battle or whatever. And because apparently you cannot unlock the third skill or some shit. Yeah, so I'm just gonna wait for the second part, and because we're gonna get another character there and then, right? So might as well just test them all at once, kind of thing. So that's it. Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Okay.